Hey guys, what is up? Welcome to part 24. I think this is going to be the last part of the WordPress tutorial for beginners series. And in this video, I just wanted to cover two final things to make sure that your site is configured and ready to go. One of them is a must. The other one is just kind of additional if you want to add more WordPresses. The first thing is adding an email account on your cPanel, and this is so we can go into our site and update it. And when you log into your control panel, you'll have an email account section. Every cPanel will have this. And if you go into this, you can actually set up an email for yourself here. I already did so by putting Bob here, getting a password from the generator, hitting unlimited on the mailbox quota, and then creating, and it creates a mail account. And then the next thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to go back to your cPanel, and you're going to want to find the forwarders section, which is right here, email forwarders, and then you hit add a forwarder. And it's going to ask you what address you want to forward, and you're going to type in that same address. In this case, it'd be Bob. And then down here, you'd put the forward address and then add the forwarder. And now any emails that come into, well, this is if you have a primary email where you run all your emails to. When you have a lot of sites, this is something that's great to set up, because then you don't have to manually log in and check all these emails. You can forward them all to one main email that you check every day that's linked up to your phone or whatever. And this is a pretty good way to run all your emails to yourself. The second thing I wanted to look at or show you was subdomains. And subdomains, if you're not familiar, is here's one here in HostGator. It's gator3156.hostgator.com. Here's the top level domain. Here's the subdomain. And we can add subdomains as we please. So in this case, let's say that we had another site that was our, I don't know, you really wouldn't want to do this because your sites were going to be split up for SEO purposes, but let's say that you wanted to, like this one here, it says your blog. You see up top where it says blog.example.com. You could certainly do something just like that. So we could say, or let's say that we had a part of our site that was for like tracking, or let's say landing pages or something. Let's just call it landing. Okay, and it's going to create a new document root, and we're going to hit create. And now we have a subdomain. And now we have landing.belfortflowers.site. And if we open this in a new tab, it may not be configured yet. Yeah, 404, because I don't know if it's configured yet. Sometimes it takes a minute for the sites to actually get configured. Although sometimes it's right away. Let's take a look. I'll show you how we can take a look at that. If you go into your file or file manager, you're going to see that inside your public, actually over here it's showing that it's right here, but in some websites it'll add it to your public HTML with a folder. Sometimes it'll add it to its own folder. In this case, it has its own folder right here. And let's just see if we can add a file to it. Maybe we can create a new file. Let's just call this index.html. This is what pages look for by default when or what web browsers look for in a file when it's empty. So we're going to create this to try to create a page for it. And let's open it up and see if there's anything there. So it was a landing. And there's probably not going to be, or it's probably going to take a minute for it to configure. Oh, nope, there it is. So there it is. It just loaded the index.html file I put in. There's nothing in it, so it's completely blank. And I don't know if these have HTTPS. They very well could, because HostGator says it includes it by default with every site. What's going on with that? It's saying that secure connection failed. It's also because there's nothing on it. Maybe it would work. I don't know. We'll have to build something on it to see. But the point is this. This is a totally different site than your standard site, meaning that you could actually now go make another database, put WordPress files into here, and then you could set up a whole nother WordPress site right here, totally different from this one. And you could do this as many times really as you please until you hit your cPanel's file size cap, this is just in HostGator. You could up this or get different servers or whatever you want to do. But in this case, we could upload a whole nother site and have something totally different. And those are two quick things I just wanted to show regarding some more additional things you could do to maybe develop another site or get more live WordPress sites out of your single domain. If you had a reason to split it up and create multiple WordPress sites, this is how you could do that. And then the other one was creating the email like we did. We just created an email account and created a forwarder, and that pushed it through. And I really think that's going to wrap us out, you guys, for this beginner series for WordPress just for the absolute basics. I probably could have gone a little more in depth about creating pages and posts and all that stuff, and some of those kinds of things, creating users, and I might do some videos on each of those individual things in the future. This course was really intended just to take somebody who doesn't even know what WordPress is and give them an idea of how it works, how's it set up, what are plugins, what are themes, how can I edit my information, and that's all it's meant to do. And a lot of this is going to be about you to move on from here and learn more, and by playing with the software. And so that's what's going to lead me to the next couple of series I'm creating. One is a series about all of the top plugins in the WordPress public repository. I want to go through and create a series, or I may have already started it, in fact, I don't know, by the time this video comes out, that's going to go through and look at all the most popular plugins, about configuring them and what you're going and how to install them and how to configure them properly and all that. And I'm going to go through and create a few different courses about starting maybe a forum WordPress site, maybe starting a e-commerce WordPress site and uploading products to it and all that kind of stuff. And then I'm going to do a series on actual websites I've built in my web design history when I ran my web design companies for a while, and I'm going to build some sites that I actually took on as real jobs and show you kind of how I broke it down. They're not going to be the exact sites, obviously, because I don't want to give away the client information, but I'll build something extremely similar to what I actually built and show you guys how I came up with what I came up with. And I picked this theme and I configured it this way, and this is what the customer wanted, and they weren't really sure what they wanted, and try to give you some of the real ups and downs for a real live case web developer as far as I can remember them, and say, okay, like, here was a problem we ran into and here's how I solved it, or these guys were being super unreasonable about this, or I didn't know what I was doing here. And then that way you maybe won't make the same mistakes I made, and you can determine if web design is even something you want to do, or if you want to be a WordPress developer, or if you want to be a developer of a different kind of software. And then I'll get more advanced into PHP coding and creating plugins and themes and all that. So if you made it all the way here, congratulations. I appreciate it that you watched it all the way through. And I hope to see you in future videos as I go through and build all kinds of stuff. I'm not even sure what I'm going to do, really. I'm just going to take it all kinds of directions and do lots of stuff at the same time. And whatever helps the most, I'll just continue making videos along that course. And that wraps us up for part 24 and for this whole series. So I look forward to seeing you guys in some of my other videos. Keep commenting, like, subscribe. It'll help me stay motivated to keep on making videos to the best of my ability. And I'll see you guys in the next one.